teen athletes who continue to play right after a concussion need double the recovery time than those who immediately stop playing.
Joining us live is Springville High School athletic trainer Lisa Walker. What do you make of this new information this morning, Lisa?
Yeah, I'm glad to see that it's actually published out there. That's nothing new to the athletic trainers and to the medical people that have been dealing with them. It's just confirmation, really, that what we've been saying all along is true. We're starting to put some numbers to it.
So basically what we're talking about is if any child has had a concussion, you've got to remove that child for how long? I guess it depends on the severity of the concussion, but what do you basically do? What's some advice for parents if they have a child who's playing football, undergoes a concussion? How soon can that child get right back on the field?
Well, every concussion is individual. Utah has state law that states that if we suspect that anyone 18 or younger has a concussion, that they have to be evaluated by a licensed healthcare provider specifically trained in concussion in the last 3 years. So your athletic trainers have that training. There's some concussion clinics. Many of the physicians are getting on board with this renewed training to try to keep current with what the latest research is. So that parent should not allow that child to go back into play without that evaluation. Depends on where you're at and what age level. So I work at a high school. High School Activities Association has a policy in place that follows the state law. And with that, our coaches have to be educated in it so that they can recognize that.
So
Not every high school.
Not
every high school has an athletic trainer is the problem.
They're evaluated, Lisa. Are they allowed to go right back in, or is there a mandatory time that they have to stay out?
There's no mandatory sit time. The only mandatory is that the licensed healthcare provider does the evaluation in order to return them to play, because there's a whole host of signs and symptoms that go along with it. However, there's crossover into other areas. So you need somebody who's experienced with concussion in order to determine if we believe that is a concussion or not. If it is not, they would be allowed back in. If it is a concussion, they're out, they're going to sit. And then we have an entire return-to-play protocol, which takes several days before they can return. And in many cases, they don't return just because you can't even begin your return to play until all signs and symptoms are gone.
Okay. Lisa, we appreciate it. Lisa Walker is a Springville High School athletic trainer joining us live with more on this new study from the Journal Pediatrics talking about teen athletes who continue to play right after a concussion need double the recovery time than those who immediately stop playing. The KSL In Depth at 15 and 45.